Hello, welcome to today's video where I'll be covering my webcomic process in Clip Studio Paint. In today's video, I'd like to discuss how to develop a comic's color style using the tools in Clip Studio Paint. Links to additional tutorials, as well as everything mentioned in today's video, will be down in the description below. A very important area to explore when developing your comic style is color. Color sets the atmosphere for a story just as much as the art itself, so deciding on a set of palettes early can help inform the rest of your decisions regarding the comic style. One technique I like to use to easily test different color palettes is to use the gradient map correction layer. First, I color my comic with flats using the character's references, or in black and white with the values I'd like to use. Then I add a gradient map layer on top and cycle through the different options. Setting the gradient map layer to color mode will preserve the values while changing the colors. You can achieve different results using different color modes too. I personally like to lower the opacity of the gradient map layer as well, since it'll preserve the integrity of the original colors, but add a harmonious color shift to everything. You can create your own gradients using your preferred colors, or find additional gradient map sets on the Clip Studio Assets page. As of the version 3.0 update, you can also use the color match feature to adjust your colors to match a specific image. If you've got a few inspiration pictures to go off of for your color palettes, this is a really easy way to test those colors out and see how they look with your style before committing to them. If you'd like to work from an even more limited color palette, another approach you can take is to use the intermediate color panel. With this tool, you can set 4 colors to create a set of swatches from. I recommend trying to pick a color from the light, middle, and dark value range, plus 1 accent color, so your palette is strong enough to handle any kind of scene and has a little visual interest to it. If you'd prefer to have your comic in black and white, Clip Studio Paint also has a variety of tools you can use for that, too. The tone layer effect, which you can find in the Layer Property panel, allows you to turn any grayscale color into a tone texture. Many comic artists use this technique to add some visual variety to their limited grayscale color palette. You can experiment with the different shapes, densities, and noise factors to find the effect you like most. There's also some black and white image materials you can use in the Materials panel. Using these in combination with the tone layer effect can create some interesting results and help your values stand out from one another. Finally, one other way you can easily test color style is to use the Shading Assist feature. This allows you to create lights and shadows in both cell shaded style and a smooth shaded style using the provided sliders. Since you can alter the colors and style very quickly, this is a good method for testing out a few different approaches to lighting and shadows without having to redraw things multiple times. You can pair this feature up with all the tools I mentioned earlier, so it works well for a lot of different coloring styles. I think this tool pairs especially well with the intermediate color panel, since both tools require you to pick a limited number of colors to work with. You could create your base color palette with the intermediate color panel, then use the Shading Assist tool to see how those colors would work as lighting and shadows, and then adjust them accordingly. You can even create your own presets, so if you narrow down the color palette to something you enjoy, you can save it for future use. Those are the basics for how you can create a comic style test in Clip Studio Paint. In the next video, I'll cover ways you can use Clip Studio Paint's text tools to finalize the style of your comic. Check the description below for my social media links and more tutorials. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time.
Clip Studio Paint.